How's it going, Radical viewers? Grim Gaddy right back into it with another Grim Rolls video and a wonderful build for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So, fun fact, I recently binge-watched Season 3 of Castlevania, and I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie also, I also had a Trevor Belmont build for a while now, but after watching Season 3, I decided to do some major tweaks to it to kind of be in line with what I saw from, well, the latest season. So without further ado and further rambling, let's go ahead and jump into the build, shall we? Starting, of course, with the good old frickin' races. What else is Trevor Belmont but human? Enjoy your lack of dark vision. For alignment, I can debate that left and right. Personally, I chose Chaotic Good. It made the most sense, because Trevor's not really in line with the law. And again, this isn't using any homebrew, this is using as little multiclassing, if at all none possible, and basically giving no reason for your DM or any table, really, to deny you using this build. Quick little heads up, I keep getting to add that bit. But no, Chaotic Good, it makes sense to me. Languages, what do beasties in the night speak? Infernal, Abyssal, maybe Undercommon if you want to go that route. Like, I chose Abyssal. We're going to pick up another one here soon. The subrace, Variant Human, for various reasons we'll get into in a moment. The subrace ability score increases Strength and Con. My original version used Dex instead of Strength, but I had to change that after watching Trevor basically just beat down a werewolf thing barehanded in, I think, the first episode or two. So I had to change that idea around real quick, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. And for the extra skill proficiency, I chose Acrobatics. Honestly, you can probably choose wherever you want and it'd be fine. Moving on to the class. As you can see, I did not choose Ranger. I did not choose that, even though it has literally a Monster Slayer subtype, or subclass. As much as I felt like it thematically could work, ultimately I didn't agree with it. Because the Belmonts, yeah, they use magic, yeah, they're really in tune with what they're hunting, but their magic comes from items they have, and weapons they use. It doesn't come from themselves. It's always something they're holding, not from their hand. No, if that makes sense? Whatever. I felt Fighter was the best bet, especially when we look into the subclass we're going to go into in a bit. Of course, that gives us weapon proficiencies, I can English, with everything, and armor proficiency with, again, everything, which is fantastic. Skill proficiencies, history and perception. History, because you're a Belmont and you know history, and we're going to tag a few more again down the line, just give me a moment. For the fighting style, 2-weapon fighting. I promise it will make sense. I chose it for a very good reason, I do promise. And of course that means we'll get second wind out of the gate, which makes us survive level 1 a little bit longer, and hopefully get to level 2. And for the abilities overall, again, I go with point buy. I recommend it because it gives you just enough customization and versatility in how to do your stats to where you can come up with numbers like this, where we end up having a 16 in strength, 14 in dex, 14 in con, 10 intelligence, 12 wisdom, which you can interchange those and it won't hurt the build at all. It just kind of depends on the flow. And 8 charisma. I chose charisma as a dump stat because, well, I think Cyphus has it better than I do. He's rude. He is very rude. But that's the stats. On. Background. Now, while I don't have it here, it is widely available from the Curse of Strahd module, and it is legal. The Haunted One background. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorites too, it's fun. And with the Haunted One background, that gives us a couple of interesting more skill proficiencies we can tag into. We can choose 2 out of 3, I believe. I chose Arcana and Religion because we're Belmont and we just know these things. And then we get an extra language, something exotic, and I picked up Infernal. Got some background features interesting too. Hearted Darkness. Those who look into your eyes can see you have faced unimaginable horror and that you are no stranger to darkness. That screams Belmont. Though they might fear you, Belmont, Commoners will extend you every courtesy and do their utmost to help you. Unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them, they will even take up arms to fight alongside you, should you find yourself facing an enemy alone. That reminds me of Season 1 Something Fierce, where he literally teaches an entire town to salt their weapons, get holy water, and prepare to defend the town. Personality traits that we have for that, honestly, I would leave it up to you guys, because the ones I picked, while I do believe they work for my idea of Trevor Belmont, you guys might have a different idea. But for the ones I picked, personality traits, I put no trust in divine beings. While I believe the Belmonts do believe in God, they're not big fans of the church. For reasons. And I spend my money freely and live life to the fullest, knowing that tomorrow I might die. That's Trevor to a T. Ideal. I kill monsters to make the world a safer place and to exercise my own demons. That hits on pretty well, I personally think. Bond. This one I'm kind of screwy against. Because, I mean, deep down it makes sense if you understand the character of Trevor Belmont, but people might argue it. That is, I would sacrifice my life and soul to protect the innocent. Seasons 1 and 2, Trevor's kind of a jackass, and he doesn't really seem outwardly like that way. But deep down, he's a sweetheart. Sypha loves him for a reason. It makes sense. Oh, and finally the flaw. I have an addiction. Wonder what that is. Dear sweet Lord, the man frickin' is just an alcoholic through and through. Moving on to the class equipment. We're gonna pick up chainmail, probably gonna swap it up with a breastplate or something. We do want something far better than that. And for our weapons of choice, we're going to pick up a whip and a short sword. Because that's what he uses throughout seasons 1, 2, and it's a 3, oddly enough, is a whip and a short sword. And he upgrades that to a really cool flail later. Then he uses a whip and a flail, and it's a really cool scene. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. It's good. Watch season 3 if you haven't yet. It's amazing. And I like crossbow bolts because as much as reach is good and fine, sometimes adding another or so feet to that is better. And for the pack, I recommend the Explorer's Pack heavily because something we get from the Haunted one is actually the Monster Hunter's Pack. And over in D&D and Beyond, we can see that that contains a chest, a crowbar, a hammer, 3 wooden stakes, holy symbol, flask of holy water, a set of manacles, a steel mirror, a flask of oil, a tinderbox, and 3 torches. Yeah, we really supplement. You're saying we don't really need a Dungeon Delver's pack because that's basically kind of one in itself. We don't have any spells because we're a fighter. And for the free feat, dual wielder. Did I mention? Hold up. I might have skipped the piece here. That's my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. It's late at night. Because I don't believe I said that for the fighting style, we are taking 2-weapon fighting. Or maybe I did, and I'm just half asleep, and I really need attention in my life. Either way, the feat is going to be dual wielder, which again further accentuates 2-weapon fighting. And the wonderful benefits of this is we get a +1 bonus AC while we're dual wielding. I mean, +1 AC, I wouldn't complain. Sometimes that +1 really helps out. You use 2-weapon fighting even when the one-handed melee weapons you're using aren't light. We kind of need that because if I remember right, whips aren't light for some reason, which doesn't make sense to me. Oh, and my personal favorite, you can draw or stow 2 one-handed weapons when you would normally be able to draw or stow only 1. We're also going to be buying a lot of daggers and be hucking them left and right. Fair warning. Because I remember that in Season 1 and I think Season 2 pretty heavily happening. That said, that's our level 1 Belmont. He's not bad. He ain't great, but he's not bad. I mean, 12 hit points, 16 armor class, whip. Weapon with reach is nice. Short sword, also nice. Picking up daggers and increasing that as a thrown range weapon. Like, we have a weird range of anywhere between short, medium, and slightly longer. But not really long range. It's very much a close-up fighter, but not too close, you know? It's strange. But I like and dig the concept, and I did playtest this in a one-shot with the average crew before, and my god did he decimate the Coliseum. Well, let's go ahead and bump this sucker to 8 and show what happens when he really powers up. Thankfully, for the magic of Roll20, that's literally just a couple of button clicks away. And for the subclass, good old Battlemaster. My personal favorite of the fighter subclasses, because Dear Sweet Lord does give you some wicked versatility. As usual, the fighter stuff we get, Action Surge, you know, that's all good and fine, all the other stuff, but what we're looking at is the combat superiority die and their benefits, and the maneuvers we can just utterly dick some poor fools over with. As for what maneuvers to pick, again, I will leave that up to you. I personally love disarming attack, I really like pushing attack, and the thematic I have for it when it comes to a whip is I snap it once, knock out the sword out of their hand, and I snap it at their face again to make them back up because I just lashed them in the freaking throat or something. They kind of are taken aback by that, you know? It's a freaking whip. No one likes getting hit with it. And for the final one, I mean, we are using a whip. Why not get trip attack? Because that's easy thematic right there. And of course, down the line, you could also pick out, like, menacing attack. Cleave is kind of not that great, but it's interesting. Fainting attack, I think it's called, where we can just give up our bonus action with whatever our offhand is and have advantage on our primary attacks for 1 round. It's kind of like that useless cantrip everyone hates that no one talks about because it's useless, except it actually works in this wonderful bit. And as for tool proficiencies, I'm not gonna lie, I don't got much. I mean, woodworker's tools, if you want to make your own sticks. Smith tools, if you want to make your own stuff. Like honestly, I got nothing here. Not even gonna lie. What would a Belmont use? Alchemist supplies? Not. Apologies, I have no idea what the hell that was. But yeah, just take your pick, guys. Tool proficiencies, have ham with it. And of course, level 5, we get extra attack, which makes us more stupidly versatile. And we get more maneuvers. Parry's a nice one, just in case your AC isn't up to snuff. Spend a superiority die and reduce the damage by the number you roll in the superiority die plus your dex modifier. Not bad, and less damage is less damage. Basic footwork isn't nice. Fainting attack, again, is fan-frickin-tastic. And menacing attack. Just for when you really need to keep the beastie away for at least a turn. Talon broken counters. I'm not even gonna lie. And of course, a bunch of other benefits like know your enemy. Starting at 7th level, you spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside of combat. You can learn certain information about its capabilities compared to your own. The game tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regard to 2 of the following characteristics of your choice. Strength, dex score, con score, armor class, current hit points, total class levels if any, and fighter class levels if any. That one thematically is kind of trippy because I kind of see it as a great example is Curse of Strahd. There's a couple of moments where you might actually have more than a full minute observing Strahd before you actually even touch the fight with him. In fact, you might be about 4 or 5 levels off when you first encounter him. I'd say that was a spoiler, but frankly, it depends on how the DM runs the damn thing. And frankly, how you guys run through the campaign, because sometimes you won't see him at all until it's too late. And you will actually be able to garner this information for yourself. I mean, granted, you're probably going to learn that he's stronger than you, he gonna bite your neck and make you regret living. It's a handy little thing, you know, if you can take the time to study a monster, you can know more about it. Moving on to the ability score increases and such. Being that I'm going off the Season 3 build, I'm going to recommend first off we do bump our strength up some fierce, because there's Sweet Lord, we're going to do that. And for our third one, we're actually not going to take that. We're going to take a feat. It's one that I think I've used far too many times at this point, but my god if it doesn't work. You know what that feat's going to be? Good old Tavern Brawler. Castlevania starts off in Season 1 with a bar fight, for God's sake. It makes sense. Turns your arm strikes from just a piddly 1 plus your strength mod into a D4 plus your strength mod. Increases your strength or constitution by 1 to a maximum of 20, which is fantastic, and we can even that out in the future with the feet, or just happy that it's uneven for whatever reason. Personally, I like the idea of bumping con. And when you hit a creature with an arm strike or improvised weapon, and we are proficient with improvised weapons, and they're fun. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to attempt to grapple the target. For more, use a grappling action. See the grapple can do. Again, it's late at night. Yeah. If I didn't see Season 3, I wouldn't have even considered this feat. I honestly wouldn't have considered making Belmont strong as all hell. I would have kept him as a dexterous boy that likes using whips, but after seeing Season 3, watching him beat down a night creature barehanded, yeah, making him a strength character that uses whips and finesse weapons and giving him Tavern Brawler made too much sense. That said, that's the build. And as usual, I hope you all enjoyed. If you all did enjoy, a great way of showing that support, as always, is by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and, of course, sharing it with your friends. And I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be a series for a bit now. I've been thinking about making it a series, but it's definite now. I'm waiting until Ubisoft fixes Breakpoint to some degree before I try to get into that and make more content for it. So we're doing this now. We're doing Grim Rolls, we're doing character builds every Friday, but be sure to stay tuned. No idea how long I'm going to be doing it for, but it's going to be a while. But once again, thank you all for watching, and as usual, cheers to those that love us, losers that lost us, and as always, the lucky sons of bitches that get to meet us. We'll catch you all in the next video.